if the Mavs win this one, I mean, are you like, should Minnesota be scared? Should the Minnesota governor be worried about making a statewide holiday for a team that is no longer in the playoffs?
Well, it's still an historic team for the Minnesota franchise.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
why that's another reason why they were so excited. But they're kind of flipping the tables on them, like
Kyrie's so good.
like they did to
I mean,
Denver. They
I mean,
won
did
the
you
first
just
two on
see
the
that
road.
last layup? Like, you see that last layup from Kyrie? Like,
I
that's
didn't. I'll go back and
exactly
watch it.
why. I mean, it's exactly why I have so much faith in this team. I mean, he's just he the way he like he's just an artist with the ball, with just finding a way to score. It's just
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
that's a Edwards Gobert. That's Edwards and Gobert on defense in the pick and roll, and just shakes
I
Edwards,
mean,
finishes over
exactly.
Gobert. Pause. I mean, Minnesota's doing what
Just
they can to stay in front, but especially at the end of these games, you're right. I mean, Tatum and or sorry, Luka and Kyrie are the two best end of game shot makers now left in the playoffs.
yeah. I'm just saying, if I got to pick between Kyle Anderson shooting up something and Derek Lively, I don't know.
Kyle Anderson's been working though.
Yeah, he's been kind
That's
of
been the
cooking.
move.
I just picked him because he was like the person I saw on the screen, but we'll see.
Yeah, he
I
just went to
don't,
the line.
obviously the series isn't over. This game isn't over. Um, but so far, my predictions have been holding true.
Okay, let me throw out another piercing truth yet.
Okay.
Uh,
I had a couple too.
let's see which ones I want to do here. Okay, there was the Pope named a influencer that tragically
Yeah,
passed.
the first millennial saint.
Named him a saint. Now, if you dig into his story, that's the you go, oh, headline influencer, like this was back in '06. He was 15. He was battling leukemia. Seems like he was a good kid. But our first TikTok era saint,
I know. Do you think we could get sainthood?
Saint Rem and Sam. I don't know. For
I don't know.
I don't know.
First podcast recorded on Zoom with a bunch of saints.
With the national ultimate frisbee segment,
Yeah, I can't forget that part.
do we get sainthood for the ultimate frisbee segment for lifting up the sport of ultimate frisbee for putting the Alley Cats
Mm,
on the map?
who knows? Like
What
Catholic
is
Church
the what
more
is
approved.
the line for sainthood?
I don't know. You gotta like I don't know. I mean,
Because you think
maybe you
about it
gotta pay
too, like,
money, you gotta bribe some cardinals. Who knows?
ooh, Drew TikTok got the revenue stream. Because like Mother Teresa, that's a whole lifetime of work right there.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. No, that is kind of true.
this kid's putting up saint level numbers in 15 years. That's quite a career.
So the Vatican must recognize at least one miracle the person has performed.
Whoa. So
That
did they
is
say
what the
what the
streets are
miracle
saying.
was?
I know we're looking at it right now. IT's on it. Carlo Augustus. So he documented miracles. So I guess the Holy See or something that's called said that Pope Francis recognized another miracle, two miracles. So it's his second miracle tied to him.
Whoa.
Oh, so he died in 2006. Okay. So he's been gone for a while.
The second
He's been gone for a little
miracle
bit.
involved the healing of a university student in Florence who had brain bled after suffering head trauma. He's healing powers? I mean, you got to saint the kid if he's got healing powers. That's kind of a no-brainer.
So, like, I wonder if this person was like praying to him or like, how does
I
that
mean,
work? I'm
bleeding
just,
head trauma too is like, I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty crazy. He was also credited with healing a Brazilian child of a congenital disease
I guess
affecting his
he
something in
had
his pancreas.
research on miracles. He had
He healed
research
a
on miracles, and he put stuff online. I don't know.
he healed 2 kids in 15 years. How many kids did Mother Teresa heal?
That's true.
How many people did she scam? No, I don't know what's up. I haven't done the Mother Teresa deep dive. I don't know what's
So
up.
apparently, I guess so. How the miracle happened was a woman prayed at his tomb in Italy, one from Costa Rica, after her daughter fell off from a bike. The daughter had the severe head trauma that doctors said she wouldn't survive. And then they reported that the CT scan showed that the hemorrhage had disappeared after her days
Ooh.
after her visit. And then the first
Ooh.
one was that a Brazilian boy was healed from pancreatic birth defect after his mother prayed to Acutus. So I guess Buddy did it twice according to church. I don't know, man.
I'm IT is saying Mother Teresa herself only has 2 miracles recognized by the Pope as well.
Only two. Wow.
Now the thing is,
That's actually kind of yikes.
now you said they only need one to qualify as a saint,
Yeah,
or at
but
least
they
one.
probably, I think but there's too many saints, I think, walking around for them to be like, okay,
Oh,
you
so
only did
now
one,
it's like unofficially you need a second miracle to like up the case.
And not everyone can get into the Hall of Fame, you know.
So maybe once they get to the number of miracles they need, they stop counting. They stop like searching them out.
Yeah,
So maybe
I
Mother
think that
Teresa
is part
has
of it.
more miracles. But
Maybe,
regardless, impressive that he was able to put up 2.
yeah, shout out. Put up enough to get into the Hall of Fame, Hall of Saints, Hall of Blessed.
The All Saints. The man has got a
That's
bust
funny.
in the pause in the Hall of
Cool.
Saints. There was the first black astronaut went to space. 90-year-old Ed
Mm.
Dwight, after 60 years of astronaut training, man putting in work.
Wait,
They find
what? There's definitely been black astronauts who've gone to space before.
Bro, that's what
Ed Dwight.
I thought. I was like, I could have. There's no way that there hasn't been
Oh,
a.
he becomes the oldest person to get to space.
Oh,
Becomes the oldest person to reach space. He was the first black candidate back
first
in the
black
day.
candidate. Okay, so shout out to Ed Dwight.
Yeah.
Man still putting up history.
And then they finally let him go. He wasn't picked, and so they finally let him go. Good for him.
Okay, shout out for
Good for him. Yeah, no, we definitely have had a couple
IT's
black.
opinion. That's
I
what
was
I
like,
could have sworn.
please, don't scare me, Rem. He's turning it back. But speaking of
Okay, my turn.
black and white, I do have a little rant, a little 5-minute thing. Shout out to the Timberwolves pulling. I mean, well, I stand to correct it. I was about to shout them out, but Kyrie pulled it back to 4. He's literally shaking his head. He's like, "No, shut up. This game ain't over." Anyway, the video came out. So last week we reported to y'all about Scotty Scheffler, #1 golfer in the world, getting pulled over trying to go to the PGA Championship. Yes, I'm doing these 5 minutes, and he got the police report makes it seem like he dragged the cops trying to stop him. Pretty much some crazy scene was ongoing. They're charging him with assault. They're making it all crazy. And the video, first of all, police officer does not turn on his body cam video. Whole nother issue. Shout out the Mavs. They're playing stupidly good right now. They're diving on the floor. What the heck's going on? Okay. Anyway, I'm a lock in. Oh my gosh, Kyrie just hit a three. This
The
game
Mavs
is
have
up.
the
They're up
lead.
by one. I'm
10
going to
minutes, the
the
fourth
finals,
quarter
man. I
has
try
just
to tell you,
started.
Kyrie and Doncic are the best playoff performers in the series. I'm not. I know
Don't
some
give up faith
basketball.
in
All
Nasri
right.
quite yet. The fourth quarter's just started. There's still 10 minutes to go. Mavs are only up by one.
Oh, he's showing fall of them. You see, Kyrie mad, bro. He mad. He wants to let him know.
Okay,
Anyway,
go while there's
let's
this
lock
Wingstop
in on
commercial.
Pearson. Yeah, it's making me hungry, man. I mean, better stop playing with me. It's working. Um, so Scottie Scheffler, the first of all, the cop did not turn on his body cam video. Whole issue with that. He's literally getting, he's getting in trouble for that, the violation. And we get finally footage from a nearby camera. Thank God for modern technology. And from what it appears, Scottie Scheffler takes a turn, literally comes to a stop as the cop's trying to stop him, stops, and that's it. No dragging of an officer for several yards, no like hitting anyone. He's literally turning off to the side. And I just had this thought that, and again, I'm not saying Rem endorses this, anyone in my family. This is only me coming out here and saying this, not an organization or anything.
I've got Sam's
But
back. Go for it.
if in a country, which we've talked about before, which was built by white men, and again, this is nothing against other white men right now, but in a country that's meant to help white men, and he's playing one of the most American sports, a sport that literally has, is emphasized America by colonizing huge swaths of the most lush land just for someone to hit a ball with a stick to be rich. I mean, shout out, check out the LA records. It's crazy what people did to get that land, evicting people. So if the number one person in that sport, a white American man, can't dodge the cops, he can't even get a fair dealing with the police. They have to make the records like make it seem like something horrible happened. What chance do the rest of y'all guys get? Like what at this point, like what do we even do? Because even Scotty, like I felt bad for Scotty. Like that actually made me feel bad because I'm like, you're literally like if you did a Create American, a creative player, Create American, outside of like maybe the
base
president, we're having
2K
the
American.
number one. I know you need the number one player in the most American sport is going to, one of the biggest, if not like the main championship of his sport, the Masters, you could argue is more, more important, but is that PGA championship. And even he is, when he's barely moving, he's not like hitting people. He's going to turn off to the side, a place that's unmarked, and he gets barely stopped. And even he's getting thrown into cuffs, thrown into jail. People are, he's getting charged with assault. The cops don't turn on body camera, all of that. Like, if even he can't get a fair dealing, like, what chance do we have for him? I don't know. I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest because I just felt bad for him. I'm like, what are you supposed to do, man?
No, it's a terrible circumstance all the way around. And, I know with the police angle as well, too, it goes several layers deeper than just that. But, like you're saying as well, too, this was on game day. It's not like this just happened on a Tuesday. This was the morning of, was this the final round?
Hours before. Yeah, hours before the second round, I think.
Second round. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it was the final round. I misspoke there. But yeah. Get on game day the morning of, and then he's, not only just the awful fact that there is a tragedy happening that this setup has to be out there in the first place, but the fact that now just an individual is having to go through, in Scottie Scheffler, this other separate complicated situation, but the fact that he's also a competitive athlete on top of that as well too, and on game day trying to overcome this, and then just for the rest of the tournament having a trial where, again, in the back of his mind, like we all see the video now, we know that he knows what he did in that moment. So he's going through this going, how do I get this all resolved and get out of this clean? Because, we saw what happened. I don't know if I really did anything wrong. So,
and he wasn't resisting. He was just scared. It wasn't like he was resisting at all.
Yeah. And so, and you hear him talk about the situation. Again, it's a tragic event, what happened. So it just, there's a lot of chaos in the moment. I'm sure people are, somewhat, on everybody's on edge. I mean, we've all been driving through sketchy, situations like that where, there's a lot of police around. It's tense. You're always a little on edge. Directions are coming in quick. You want to make sure you're going the right way because, I mean, in a moment like that, if you get off the wrong way in directions, things can go south
Yeah,
quickly, like just what happened. So when people are on edge, it's just, I get that things can snowball quickly. So the fact that the body cam wasn't turned on though is just like the big red flag in the whole thing because it's like, okay, if the body cam footage is on, and again, it's just a tense moment, emotions are running high, things get her out of proportion, and then afterwards everything kind of settles down and calm, and the body cam footage is like, okay, maybe people are in the wrong, but we can kind of go about our separate ways and make peace with it. But again, the fact that the body cam wasn't on, it's like, what is actually going on here? Like, what was going through people's,
exactly.
like, what were we trying to do? Like, what was the goal in the moment? What was trying to be accomplished? It's just, again, it's a terrible situation, and this is just another tricky piece to it all.
It just made no sense. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. I just feel bad for him. I hope he gets it figured out. I hope he gets to play. And I mean, you can see from the video, I don't know, did it look like unmarked cars? I mean, he just thought it was security, you know?
Are we able to pull it
I
up?
mean, we could get, let me see if I can.
I'm down to watch it
Because
again.
it did just look like
I saw it on
security, which is
ESPN.
pretty normal. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty normal for a national, a big event that there is flashing lights, there is stuff going on, and he's just like trying to go.
I guess to be honest, too, the other piece that needs to be investigated is do we need to, can we pull up the initial ESPN report as well, too? I'll pull that up. I want to pull up that
Okay,
Jeff. Did you see that at all? That Jeff
easily.
Darlington? You know who I'm talking about?
Jeff Darlington? No.
The ESPN reporter. I think that's his name. He made a report on First Take the morning
Mm,
it happened. And he was saying basically what we were saying about the guy hanging on the car. He saw Scotty Scheffler being whatever.
here we go. Oh, we got a news report. You know we're journalists here.
If you've got the report, I've got the Darlington interview we can watch after that.
Okay.
In Louisville, Kentucky, police released new video of his early morning arrest before the second round of the PGA Championship on Friday. These silent images show Scheffler's car apparently being stopped by a police officer who makes contact with it. An unrelated
He
fatal
like literally
collision
is
had
hitting
taken
it.
place earlier. Traffic was blocked and Scheffler was trying to get to the country club. Police say this video is moments after an alleged assault took place against a detective. According to the arrest report, the golf pro tried to drive around traffic and was told to stop by police. It says Scheffler refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging a detective to the ground. That moment was not captured in the video. According to police, the detective suffered from pain, swelling, and abrasions, but the
Oh yeah.
Right now, he's going to jail.
Louisville camera on.
Right now, he's going to jail.
Louisville police announced the detective Brian
can you go
Gillis has
back
been
a little
reprimanded
bit?
for not turning
There was
on his
one angle that
camera.
I hadn't seen
Yeah.
before
Police say
until
this video is moments
right now.
after an
It was like
alleged
that
assault
overhead
took
angle.
place against a detective.
Oh, the overhead angle? Yeah, that's the one I saw. That's the one this
I saw
whole
the
rant's
one
about.
through the car
Yeah, no, this one.
of like his car going around.
Yeah,
Yeah, this angle here.
this is the one where he's like coming here and it's like, where is he dragging the detective? I don't, if
I
anything, the
mean,
guy's hitting his window.
if we're gonna try to be fair to all sides of it, his car was moving there through there at a.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
it's not a creepy. It's not like he was creeping through there. Maybe a little
No,
bit
you're
faster
right,
than
but
you
let's
want.
let's hear a little bit.
It is maybe a
Well,
little
let's
bit
hear a little
faster
bit
than
about
you'd
this
want
officer.
According to
through
records
a
provided
caution
by
zone
Yeah.
like that.
No, you're right, but he's trying to get, where he's trying to go. So it's
police to NBC News, he has been disciplined 6 times, including 2 suspensions for violating department policies. As for Scheffler, his attorney responding to the video released today.
All the evidence that continues to come out just continues to support what Scotty said all along, that this was a chaotic situation and a miscommunication.
The golfer spoke out the day of his is facing
Okay, wait, can
multiple
we watch that
charges,
angle one
including
more time?
assaulting a police officer and reckless
yeah,
driving.
we can get the replay.
His lawyer says he
But it just blows my mind the number of times. I mean, it's the same thing with those George Floyd cops. Like, they got suspended. The system's not like super broken. It's just there's nothing. They're still out there doing their thing. Like, it's just another day. Like,
You're right. We rarely hear of
we
these
have-
guys. When they get to this level, it's usually not a first-time offense.
Exactly. Yeah, like it's never like, oh, there's 0 reports. Oh, no one in the community ever knew anything about this. Like, yeah, I think the main guy who took the blunt force of the George Floyd stuff, like he had shot someone else. I think like there was a whole nother shooting incident like a year before. Stuff
He
like
had been up to no good
there's signs. Exactly. So now even the #1 golfer ain't even safe. No one's safe, man. No one's safe. So I guess it is marked cars.
Yeah.
It is marked, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he's just thinking of security, but
Okay, that's
it's
not
crazy.
too far.
Dragging a detective to the ground is crazy.
It's a little dramatic. That's not too. The ESPN guy was not too far off. I probably shout out to Jeff Darlington. Man's on top of it, but
Shout out.
yeah, I mean, Scotty Scheffler definitely maybe, police are at work. Maybe use a little more respect when you're in a vehicle
Just a tad bit.
and there's like 70
Sounds
cops
off.
in the area. Again, I'm sure
I don't know.
you're locked in. It's game day. You just want to get to the thing. You got a rhythm that you like to keep, probably a routine. This is going to take you out of your routine, but this is also real life. You got to maybe adjust a little bit just to try to be fair to all sides. But obviously, like we're saying, this guy is got quite this guy's, a first team all nasty cop. He has the resume, so I'm not necessarily defending him. I'm just trying to be fair. Talk it all out.
Yeah. Also, I got into a random Josh Primo argument on when I think I sent you something. There was a Hoop Nation posted something like in 2016, 2017, like the Spurs had 29th pick in both drafts, and they got Derek White and DeJounte Murray. And then there was like their caption, which made me mad, was like, the Spurs know how to draft eyes. And I'm like, oh, so we're just going to forget about Josh Primo at 12 and 21. Now, shout out to someone in the comments did mention Semanich at 19. And then I had like all morning, I was busy fighting other people. I was ready for everyone. I was going to let them know. So, I mean, there were people who pretty much, I did get educated. There was multiple instances of him having indecent exposure that one got settled and one got dismissed. So, but my argument was that he, as a lottery pick, got sent to the G League twice by 2 different teams and as someone who was supposed to be known as a shot creator, almost always had the same number of shots as points. So I don't know, Rem. I mean, you as a Spurs fan, you want to weigh in here, do you trust I guess obviously you trust your team in drafting, but yeah, where do you stand, at least with the Josh Primo era? Like, could have something happened if he knew how to treat trainers like human beings?
I think that's the first time it's ever been referred to as the Josh Primo era. You didn't think he was a good player?
I don't.
Didn't they take him? He was like 17. So they like needed him to be in the G League for a little bit.
Yeah, he was 18. I do think he could have been an NBA player, but I don't think he was going to be like anything great. I mean, I think I saw someone like an all-star. I'm like, if he grinded the G League and then pulled a Chris Middleton and like showed up when he was like in his prime. He could be, decent, but I just thought they took him way too high when we look back at the draft, Moses Moody went after him, Duarte went after him, and Sengun went up after him, which the Rockets trade 2 first rounders for. So even in the moment, it was a bad pick.
Also, amongst the guys taken after him, you said Sengun. I was looking back at the draft here. Sengun kind of hurts. Him and Wemby would be kind of nuts together. Okay, which of these 3 guys would be better with Wemby? Sengun, Trey Murphy, or Jalen Johnson? Because that was 16,
I did
17,
see Trey
and 20.
Murphy and Jalen Johnson, but I didn't want to bring those guys up because I do understand taking like someone who will be an actual number 1 option instead of a good rotation piece. And if you think Josh Primo had that potential, I'm not going to argue with you there. I just think he was just way too raw to take that early. And that's why I mentioned Moses Moody, because you're like, okay, you could see like maybe he can hold the ship around while you guys keep tanking. Who else did we mention? Sengun, if he could really be a powerhouse. So that's why I didn't mention those guys. But yeah, those guys too, I'd have over him.
Herb Jones at 35. I would take Herb Jones maybe over all 3 of them. Maybe not Sengun.
Jeez.
Cam Thomas, 27.
Yeah.
I hate doing this with the draft.
But anyway, I just wanted to bring it up.
But yeah. I did really like Trey Murphy that year. I would have liked Trey Murphy at 12. Would have been nice.
Shout out.
And I'll also be honest, the other way, the guy I probably would have taken if he would have been available would have been Book Knight. But he went at 11. So.
I did get fooled by Book Knight too. I'm not even gonna lie. I did get caught that's a tough
who do you think
Hornets beat.
Who do you think
the Hornets just can't win?
Scored more points, Book Knight or Primo?
I gotta go Primo. I think he got more shots.
Book Knight barely scored more points. Book Knight is currently at 383 points. Primo's at 318.
He's still in the league, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he did it over a longer time.
Yeah, 79 games for Book Knight, 56 for Primo.
Exactly. Shout out Book Knight putting up career high 44 and 10 at the end of the year with the Greensboro team.
You got me excited there for a second. I was like, I don't remember that. And that's why.
He might be coming back. I mean, you put up 44 in the G League. Something Primo wasn't doing.
Or maybe he just found his role.
I don't know. I mean,
he could be he'd be a great face of the Greensboro Swarm.
Swarming. I mean, I think
we'll
see. Get him in the door.
Thanks for bringing up Primo, though.
Also, I just thought you would like to know. Also,
why are you arguing with Spurs fans all day about Primo?
Because they're all coming to my comments, being like, "Oh, do you not know that it was indecent exposure?" I'm like, I get it, but he was still getting such a G League, and also the Spurs kind of took like 10 months before they did anything. So, shout out Amp for locking down Kyrie. And let's see if they can pull away here, only a 1-point lead.
8 quarters.
Yeah, and 10 trips. Also, Rich Paul lets the league know Bronny's not taking no 2-way deal. Have you seen? I guess we talked about this last week, but it's still continuing the surge for the bets on Bronny as the number 1 overall pick.
I think my prediction is we'll talk about it.
I don't know, Ram. Like what?
It might come up again.
Hey, we got to get the viewership. What are you talking about?
It's going to come up
every week till we get there.
It's headline news. We're just reacting.
We got to figure out how to get
to what we read. Can I be
honest? How does this affect LeBron James' legacy that his son, despite looking like decent, maybe a 15th man on the team, could get a first round, be a number 1 overall pick?
How does this affect the plot of the next Space Jam? LeBron teaming up with his son.
Man, they're getting whatever call they want. Jeez.
Lively is moving up the ranks. He just got another lob.
He's trying. I don't know. Doncic just They're all doing whatever they want.
Minnesota,
Oh, you're
though.
behind. You're behind me.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I guess I'm just behind.
What minute are you at?
Doncic at the free throw line right now, 3:12.
Oh, okay, okay. We're the same, yeah.
Ooh. Locked in. But
Man, Matt's just doing whatever it takes. Hang around. Did you have something you want to go through? Apple Music's top 100.
wait,
Shout
what were we
out
just
Lauren
talking
Hill.
about? What were we just saying?
Oh, we're talking about no two-way contracts for Bronny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Can I tell you what my gut's saying right now about Bronny?
Let's
I think he might go in the first
What your
round.
gut saying? Wow. A little spicy.
He was working out with Phoenix, or he's going to work out with Phoenix, and I think they have like the 22nd pick in the draft. That would be an all-time Hail Mary from Ishbia to just draft Bronny in the first round with his one draft
just
pick.
I'll get stars any way possible.
He's got one draft pick
where are
for
the
the
Lakers
next 10
at?
years. Let me pull it up.
What pick are the
Lakers might
you
not
saw
have
his pro day was with them? Like
they might not have their first round pick. It might be going to their first round pick is going to New Orleans.
Trade up in the
this year.
second form?
They would have to.
Think he convinces Pelinka to trade up their last first rounder for him to move up?
Could they give up Maxwell Lewis to trade up in the Jalen Hood Schifino to move up in the first round?
Oh, maybe.
Does the team still have Hood Schifino stock? But
does anyone in the league still have Hood Schifino stock?
Phoenix forfeited their second round pick. Was that like a tampering thing?
I think it's the apron rules. You can't have your first rounder if you have like so much money.
Well, they had their first, they forfeited their second, but I think you might be right either way.
Oh.
So if they just
Hail
Mary Bronny at 22, the Knicks have 2 first round picks. They have 24 and 25.
Oh. The Spurs have 4 and 6.
Well, maybe if we trade back.
Yeah.
The Thunder have
We'll see.
12, and do they have another one?
I mean, if I'm an NBA
just
GM,
12.
like I don't give one about this draft. Like I'm just
Well, you can't do that.
So why not just get Bronny?
You gotta care if you're a GM.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're like going to sleep during the combine, but why the heck not get Bronny?
But you're golfing during this. This is a heavy delegation during this draft season. You're gonna focus on free agency.
Let me see. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I think with the stars that are in free agency, possible trades, I think for sure. And let me see what my staff has. Give them a chance to show their stuff.
Because you don't need to watch.
It's definitely not a draft you have to get right.
You don't need to watch tape on the free agents. You need to go discuss it on Twin Pines with your assistants.
Exactly. You take their agents out to golfing trips.
Top golf. That could be your first Top Golf.
See if you can get something done. Exactly. See if you can get something done. I'm telling you, like, I'm not saying this draft is going to have zero talent. There's talent. I mean, there's talent in every draft. There are NBA players.
This draft has Zach Edey.
Like, are we really pushing for it? Like, it's like, all right, we got bigger stuff to. We got bigger fish to fry. Donovan Mitchell could be on the move. Is Mikal Bridges really going to stay with the Nets?
I mean, you're going to get Trae Young.
Paul George.
On your hypothetical team. You still
Paul
have
George. Yoink Pascal. There's a couple stars up. There's stars out there, so everything's on the table.
Sneaking at Clay.
D'Angelo Russell is just. Lively has the second highest plus minus ever. Chet Holmgren at third. I was trying to remember who was first. Oh, Manu Ginobili. That's a little Spurs fact.
Whoa!
Shout out by a rookie ever. Number 1.
Lively 6 for 6. He's going to put up a double-double.
It is interesting that
I'm telling you, he's outplaying Jokic right now.
It is interesting that That yeah, probably. It is interesting that 2 and 3, the second and third best, were put up this playoff. So Chet Holmgren and Likely of the best plus minus by rookie.
Maybe that's
Ooh,
just like
Derrick Jones Jr.
what Carter was saying
Nice.
when we had him on about, eras.
Shout out Doncic for playing volleyball. Just pat the ball. Man, this game is so back and forth. It's crazy. Like,
there's 2 minutes left. Anthony Edwards has the ball on the right wing. He's driving to the rim, and he just got fouled.
and
Minnesota's up
he got
1.
fouled.
And you're right.
I
If
don't know, my
Minnesota
ESPN
doesn't
Game
close
Pass
this
is a
out,
little faster. Yeah. No, this would be huge. I mean, it is crazy that it's this close in Minnesota. Like, they had the run. It's just they couldn't. They couldn't
Derek
put him away.
Lively?
Doncic just kept him around.
What's Lively's Finals MVP odds right now?
Wow, only 4 points in the second half is a yikes.
For Doncic?
5, but no, for Anthony Edwards.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Bench right now. We can. I guess I could go a little bit into Ultimate Frisbee, real quick. D1 Nationals is happening right now. Well, not playing right now because there's bad weather up in Wisco, but they are occurring there. They're being held right now. Shout out the big winner on the men's side for today, Michigan. Magnum come in to the tournament as the lowest ranked team at 20th. Find a way to knock off 9th seeded Vermont, beating them by 2 in the first game in the second round in their first game of the Nationals.
The country
so I don't know. Some people saying, Michigan's team, they got some players with some club nationals experience. This team is not someone to overlook, even if they're coming in at 20th. And yeah, I mean, shout out Aaron Bartlett. He won nationals this past year with Truck Stop. So they have some experience. They're not no bums, and they showed it against a team that last year I think was in the 3rd place game for nationals. I mean, a team that considers itself really competitive. So,
I mean, as long as we have Bartlett, we're going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
Best player in any series, right?
You are correct. You're right. You're right.
Kyrie just missed both free throws. Down 3 with a minute and a half.
Yeah, I don't know how
Unbelievable.
That is not. That is unbelievable. Let's see if Anthony Edwards can close out this game against Derrick Jones.
We jinxed him by saying he's the best clutch performer in the playoffs.
I still stand by it. Well, I was saying out of everyone, if I had to pick someone.
No, I think it's still the correct
this morning, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, the number 1 seed, handles business against Brown, who was the toughest matchup of the last year. North Carolina coming in as the number 1 seed, even though they lost a couple games this past year, had a weaker regular season than normal, but are the 3-time defending champions. And we'll see. I mean, they beat Brown by 4 points last year. Brown gave them the closest game out of everyone. So maybe it's just fine. It's just okay. Who knows? We will see. But usually they balance out the games. They have like 2 games for each of the teams today. But because of the rain, they're going to be loading up tomorrow. And kids are going to be playing Frisbee at 8 a.m. 6 a.m. my time. Yeah, up bright and early, crack of dawn, to playing, I think, 3 games tomorrow. And then because Nationals is spread up over 4 days. So that is ongoing on the men's side. As for the women's side, local California, San Diego is ahead on top of the team as they just beat a team that was seated one above them. But the big story is the number 1 seed British Columbia gets beat by Tufts on Universe. They take it down to the wire, and Tufts it out 15-14. So the number 1 seed on the women's side already with an L. Not too many other surprising results over there as well. So just ongoing. It's up on LT World. They have like 70 games, except of course the finals, which will be on ESPNU, not ESPN Plus this year. So
Whoa!
might be a little easier to catch it. If you have,
Moving to the
yeah, not
national
ESPN
network.
Plus. I know.
Inside the NBA is out and Ultimate Frisbee is in, baby.
Ultimate Frisbee, including the Ultimate Frisbee Association. We're in the middle of the regular season, and let's see here. Trying to see
Are you pulling up
where
standings?
our team is at, our homies. I can pull up standings
Alley Cats?
right now. The Alley Cats, Alley Cats, who do have the #1 all-time scorer on their team, he's still playing.
Are the Alley Cats going to get Bartlett?
He's still trying. He is 1-1 right now. Let me see if Aaron is in the league. I think if anywhere, he might be with Washington. I don't know.
Well, as long as Wettengale continues to grow and build on his third team all UFA
he's with the
performance,
DC Breezy.
they need to trade for Bartlett.
Oh no, he hasn't played in the last 2 years. Yeah. I don't know. He stopped playing in 2022, so
maybe not.
It's crazy. It's a crazy grind to do all of them. But right now the Alley Cats are 1-1. Kind of low on the rankings right now, on the standings, but they'll be just fine. The Mechanics, it'll be tough for them to get last place in their division, as the Mechanics are 0-4. Still never having won a game. Shout out the Oakland Spiders. They wish they did. The Oakland Spiders, second in the West, 3-2 right now. The only people above them in their division is the shredding the competition, 5-0 right now. Also, besides, I think the Madison Radicals and Carolina have only played 2 games and they're undefeated. But beyond that, no one else has won 5 games in a row. So they're the only perfect team that's played an actual decent number of games so far this season, including beating the Spiders in Oakland last week. So yeah, right now the Seattle Shred are looking great. And Ulti-World has brought out some rankings, and I think the Alley Cats were on the move. They were on the move up.
Up and up?
Up and up. Let me see if we can pull this up.
Wow. So we have an interesting situation here in Mavs Timberwolves. There was a
foul.
Yeah, McDaniels grabbing the ball, knocked out of bounds by Kyrie. Kyrie clearly slaps him on the arm. Jason Kidd challenges because they ruled it off Kyrie, or off the Mavs. And the challenge was successful because the ball was definitely off McDaniels, but he was fouled by Kyrie. So I'm listening to this on mute. I don't know what Jamal Crawford's saying right now. Shout out Jamal Crawford. But I don't know what's reviewable in this situation. So the Mavs are going to get the ball back down 2 with 40 seconds and a chance to make up for those Kyrie's mid free throws.
Doncic over Naz Reid.
One leg.
Likely.
Oh.
Good try, Likely. He tried.
Likely is like, I don't know what the Rodman rebounding was like. I'd have to go back and watch that. I think he was better at boxing out. I'm not saying Lively is Rodman. I'm just saying like Lively is really good at grabbing rebounds without boxing out. So
Anthony Edwards turns it over. 12 seconds, 2-point game.
He pulls a Halliburton.
Wow, I thought Kyrie hit that. Finch looks so disappointed right now.
Hey, Chris Finch, back on his feet.
Did Kyrie not touch that?
Lively on the switch.
Wow. Lively holds his own. Man, this has definitely got to be the Derek Lively game.
The series. I'm telling he was great in last game too.
Quickly looking at the rankings, Alley Cats right now at 13, so just a little below average. But the Empire, reigning 2-time champions, at 5th right now. So something to look out for. Also, shout out the Bay Area Falcons in the Premier Ultimate League, the professional women's team. Right now, dominantly on top of the whole league, only undefeated team at 5-0, and I believe championship weekend is coming up soon. So good luck to the Bay Area Falcons. I think they've been playing out of their minds.
They're on a heater. Shout out.
They are on a heater. Also, shout out Dubs, I know a player on the Milwaukee Monarchs. Shout out to them. Let me see the standings right now. Yeah, there are. I'm looking at the wrong team. It's not the Premier Ultimate League team. I think it's the. Oh, it's the Western Ultimate League. Oh, gets the pass in to Doncic. 10, 9. What is going to happen? He's going to have to shoot a three over.
Doncic's going to go for the tie or for the win?
For the win. Oh, he hit it. Oh, gosh. Oh, Doncic is him.
Sucking Luka Doncic with the step back three over Rudy Gobert.
He's him. Look at Kyrie. What a leader.
By 1. They could. Oh, Rudy Gobert's tripping. He's stumbling. He's got.
Oh, Doncic, not safe for work. Do we need some lip readers in here? He let Rudy know, bro.
He gets him stumbling with the step back.
He helped Rudy. He was helping someone up when he pushed him to the ground. You know, Doncic will act all nice, but he's still a killer in there.
It's the dad bod decade, the 2020s.
Dad bod day. I'm telling you, Doncic is that guy. He let him know. Trust me, they're only going to show the back of his head on that shot. he had some words for Rudy over there. He had some words. Oh my gosh.
3 seconds. The Timberwolves only need to get to the rim, and can they advance the ball on this? Timeout?
Yeah, I think so.
They're going to get it from half court
every time.
Edwards could easily get to the rim. Lively's going to be the defender unless they put Gafford.
They should just lob it up near the rim and get a dunk. They need to lob it up to Gobert or Towns near the rim and just get a dunk.
Do the refs bail him out? You can also get the Anthony Edwards foul.
Mavs have 0 fouls to give, 0 challenges, 0 timeouts. Like, this is literally it for them. Shout out the Mavs. They did whatever it took.
I don't want to say this is the series, but I mean, this is insane. If they go up
close.
2-0, going back home.
Yeah.
McDaniels to inbound. Oh, it's not straight.
Oh, laid it out. And again, Naz Reid being depended on to take the big shots. Wow. They gave it to Naz Reid a couple times at the end of this game to take the big shots. And again, it happens. Anthony Edwards gives it to Naz Reid to get his shots. And, you know, if Naz Reid has to be the person to bail you out, he was playing well this game. But again, if Naz Reid is the guy you're depending on, I'm taking Kyrie and Doncic to win the game. And it was a tag team effort. Kyrie was, he had excellent plays to help close the gap. Doncic, when everything was absolutely dead, kept the gap around, kept it close. And then Doncic just took him home. I'm telling, like I said, time and time again, I'm going to bet on the best playoff performers. And Doncic and Kyrie are that, man. Oh my
Doncic,
gosh.
man, the amount of playoff buzzer beaters now. He adds another one. Unbelievable.
He did it against Kawhi and Paul George. I mean, damn, he got words for everyone. He's letting them know.
Dallas is letting them know 2-0. And if you're Minnesota, I don't think you can be mad at that look. Because the thing is, Edwards gets the ball. Yes, I think he makes the move to go to the rim, but he gets the double. I think it's going to be difficult. I think the pass to Reid. Reid is open on the 3. Jones makes a great play, great hustle. Jones's wingspan as well, too. Like, he's definitely there a little bit to affect the shot, but it's a good look from Reid. He's open enough to make that. And honestly, it's a
it's not a bad look, but it's not a bad look, but I mean, he was the sixth man this past year. Like, he's not, no one's you need your stars to step up in the biggest moments. And, he's just not that.
But you can't be mad at him taking that
want
shot.
to hear the crowd after he's done. No, I can't be mad at him taking that shot. That was the right play by Anthony Edwards. But the thing is that you can't depend on Anthony Edwards to consist. Like I mentioned, when he's in the flow, it's really fun to watch. But he's not someone who's gonna be consistently being the engine of an offense. And that's what both Kyrie and Doncic can be. And you could see them trading off in this game, allowing Doncic to rest. Kyrie took that load, pause, whatever. And then once Doncic, like, you could see, him kind of rested up. He's like, okay, I'm going to take us home. And, that's what he did.
Is Doncic potentially the most, and I say this with love, is Doncic the most annoying player potentially to win the title in a while?
No, definitely Gobert.
Okay, so still Gobert. Doncic is just gonna so he's gonna take over Europe as a teenager, take over the EuroLeague 19, go over to the NBA and try to take a team to the title before 25. I mean, I know Edwards is doing his thing at 23 too, but
yeah, no, well, Edwards is 22.
Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie as well too.
Oh.
Big three in the corner at the end of this game, where after the possession, after he misses
Did Jason
the two
Kidd
free
hug
throws,
a fan?
he's able to respond later. It was a possession as well too, where Minnesota and Edwards was able to recover to Doncic on a three, where it was like, this is like Minnesota is like cranking their defense up to that level that we've seen them be able to get to.
Yeah.
And they rotated the ball to Kyrie, 3-pointer, was able to knock it in, and then Doncic able to bring him home at the end. So yeah, lively Doncic, and
I'm totally fine that they
Kyrie,
doubled.
That's a big three
this
now.
is definitely the lively game.
Is lively a big three?
This was definitely the lively game. No, I am happy they doubled Anthony Edwards and left Naz Reid open. Like, that's what you do every day of the week. I am disappointed that they went for 3 instead of 2, though. I mean, it is only a 1-point game. Like, you gotta find a way to take it inside and at least give yourself a chance to get a foul or something. And I know everyone does the whole drive it to the basket. It's not that hard. But with that many bigger players in Naz Reid and Cat and, even Rudy Gobert, if you have to, I would have much rather see that. I would much rather they thrown it near the hoop and gone for a lob.
And Edwards 10 free throw attempts already in this game. The rest were clearly.
I mean, they just don't have shot creators like that. Like Mike Conley, had to take like several, like, he had to do some shot creation, and I don't. It's tough.
Naz Reid was 7
Again,
for
when they're
8.
in the flow, he's great.
Naz Reid was 7 for 8 from 3 before that shot. That was his second miss of the game.
But I mean, this is nothing against Edwards long term. It's just who he is right now as a player, and the potential's there. But
I think that was the right play, though.
Experience.
I think you're right that the Mavs are willing to live with that. That's the play that they want. But I think Naz Reid, especially looking at that too, like, I mean, he's insanely hot in this game. He kind of just missed that shot.
So you're fine with that shot over them doing something below the 3-point line, like closer to the rim.
I don't know if the refs were going to give him the call there. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have mind. I wouldn't have minded either way. But with the way we're hyping up Naz Reid, I mean, we have to be able to live with him taking a 3 at the end of a game.
A deep 3? I don't know.
It was a normal 3.
Yeah, I mean, he was a couple of feet behind the line.
I mean, you get Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, switched out on.
Look, he's on the almost stepping on target logo. Like, he was.
Okay, it's fair. He's a couple steps back. Yeah,
it wasn't. Not like he had time to take a dribble inside, but I don't know. We'll see.
If you could give like
definitely cooked Rudy.
if you could give like a play like a perfect release, it was definitely not a perfect release. They definitely didn't green.
I mean, and
play,
it was
but
in and
it was
out. So
yeah, I think it was good enough. But yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards probably should have taken it to the rim.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if he should have taken it to the rim, but they definitely should have had some screen action that allowed him to take it within the 3-point line. Because is it like that much faster if he's passing it out to Nasri from the free throw line to back out there, you know, and then, you know, at least it's a shot he can take. It's just the two. Just make it easier on yourselves. I don't know. It is what it is. But at the same time, you need a little luck to win it all. And, you know, Mavs got a little luck.
You know, with all due respect to Draymond Green, we're sitting here watching Inside the NBA on TNT. Like, aren't we in the stretch run here? Can we just have one last run with the boys?
Like, I don't need to hear more biased takes from him. I really don't. I don't need to hear how you could guard him. I don't.
He said that they should bring him off the bench. They should bring Gobert off the bench as their big adjustment for game 2. The Warriors have Draymond Green on TNT and Chris Paul on ESPN. They have 2 players in the media right now.
Warriors mafia right now. They're just
Will Clay be
pushing their agenda?
Is the question. Do you have anything for Soccer Corner?
Yeah, shout out. Tomorrow is Man City versus Man United. Man United will be fighting for their European football lives. See if they can play on the continent. If they win, they'll get second division. If they lose, they won't be at all, and Chelsea will get that place instead. Either way, they're going to lose their coach. The coach has been told if he wins or loses, it doesn't matter. He's out. It's kind of weird. Chelsea also lost their coach, which I'm very mad at. Sadly, they, he moved, helped improve their position like 4 or 5 places up. Pretty much going to have us playing on the continent. He is sadly out. They wanted a younger coach. Seems like there's issues with the owners. Owners are, some Americans coming in thinking they know everything they're doing and messing everything up. So hopefully it's not a long-term problem, but we have a lot of young talent, and it'll be interesting to see who we can bring in, because this ownership group is just, we've had 5 coaches in the last 2 years. It's crazy.
You're Brooklyn.
It's crazy. Pretty much. And then last thing, Bayern Leverkusen. I think we were talking last week. They were on a 50-game record. They did finish their league season perfect. Bundesliga and German league, they did win perfect. And they had 2 games left. One of them was that second division of European soccer. They're in the final playing at Atalanta, who snapped that 50-game non-losing streak, unbeaten streak, by beating them 3-0. Pretty much shutting them down. It was a big loss. And then they have one more game, hopefully winning their own, playing for their own domestic cup. But instead of having 3 trophies, which would have been crazy, they only are getting 2 if they win this next one. But yeah, that's the big headline. The team with 50-game historic unbeaten streak with a super high, like higher than most unbeaten streaks, winning a percentage. So they did win a good number of the games. I think most of them. It is now snapped. So it doesn't mean the team lost any talent. It's just some history over with.
What was the number 2 streak record? Do you know?
What was the what?
What was the number 2 record? Like, how much better was Bayern Munich than the number 2 team?
Let me see. So it is weird because there are some other teams in lower divisions that just had like years on years because they're playing against
for the main
farmers. Teams. So let's see. So the main one that people point to was the Invincibles Arsenal team. And I believe their streak was let's see, what's 26 plus 12? 38. Theirs was 38, and they tied more games than they won. Like they tied a lot more games than they won. And also, it wasn't over 38 games. I want to say it was like less. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they're fit. Let's just say 50 games, not really done before. It's really greatness. But did you want to talk about Apple Music top 100?
Wait, can I ask you a soccer corner question quick?
Yeah, sure.
Have you heard of this? So I saw this post about this kid. Hopefully I say his name right. Caven Sullivan. He's a 14-year-old. And he just
from Sacramento.
Just signed a deal with the Philly Union. And then as a part of that deal, when he turns 18, he's going to transfer to Man City. So is this kid like the next protege kid?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of him?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, they have those all the time, like young players. Yeah. No, especially from South America. We've seen a lot of those, especially Brazil. That's how Vinicius Jr. was found. Hendrick right now is on that path. So it is something they do all the time, is they sign these young players and then they go through their farm systems and figure it out. And I believe, no, it's the New York team that's a satellite of Man City. Oh, shout out Doncic on the interview.
Oh, what's Doncic?
He's right now on the desk.
I wish we could tap in live.
Already.
Listen on the pod.
Can you hear it?
So the people could hear it.
I'm good. How are you physically?
Oh.
I will play no matter what.
I got something for you, Lucas. Called Icy Hot. Man up.
Take us. I went back.
Luka Doncic, I really think you probably should have missed that shot. I think Gobert should have blocked it.
Finish on that. And what's the discussion?
Can you hear it?
For going for the win on the road. No, it wasn't discussion to go for win. But I knew I just trying to get to my spot. You know, that step back. I'm confident in that shot. So that's about it. So I have a question for you because we were just debating this. When you ended up with Rudy Gobert, was that the matchup that you were looking for when you saw him come out on that defense possession? Yeah, I told you live set a screen because they're gonna switch, and then we wanted that. Yeah. Rudy sucks, not me. But I just again.
People are yelling during one sucks.
Not me. You know. Hey, go on. We'll see y'all next year. You know, Draymond asked you a great question. Y'all wasn't gonna go for the win unless they switched, correct? Were you surprised they switched?
I
wasn't actually. I think they were going like just no threes, so we could try to stay up. But I saw that space and get to my spot. So, as a guard, when the big guy switches, do you say to myself, I'm gonna wiggle him, jiggle him, shoot a jumper, or I'm gonna try to get to the lane, or have the defense draw and then kick it to somebody else? I think that depends who's guarding me. There's a lot. You have the defensive player of the year on you. Yeah.
All right, I think we heard enough.
I mean, Doncic cares less than Jokic.
He can't move. I can't move fast, but I can move faster than him.
He's a killer. He acts like he doesn't care. Shout out the fans. They let people know about Draymond.
Of course, Draymond asked him, like, hey, I know you wanted to cook Rudy Gobert, right? You knew you could cook Rudy Gobert.
Sorry, it's Rudy Gobert that sucks, not me.
He's just got this agenda. He probably thinks he should be DPOY. DPOY. All right. Ready to talk about these top 100 albums?
Are we diving
by
in?
Apple? Yeah, we can dive in. So for people who don't know, Apple Music has been releasing their own ranking of the top 100 best albums, and it's finally all been released, so we can talk about it. Top 5 are The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, by Lauryn Hill, Thriller by Michael Jackson at 2, Abbey Road, The Beatles at 3, Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution at 4, and Blonde by Frank Ocean at 5. Here, we'll just give the top 10. Songs in the Key Life by Stevie Wonder, Good Kid, Mad City Deluxe version by Kendrick Lamar,
Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. Nevermind by Nirvana. Nirvana. And Lemonade by Beyonce. Some Fleetwood Mac, Radiohead, Jay-Z, Bob Dylan. 21 by Adele. Blue. Marvin Gaye at 17. Taylor Swift, 1989 at 18. Dr. Dre, 20. The Beach Boys round out the top 20. I don't know, Rem. Were there any crazy ones that you thought should have been higher, should have been lower? I mean, I was looking at this through the rap account. So obviously there's some very biased stuff. And it was kind of funny seeing comments being like, yeah, imagine other music being out there besides rap. But yeah, what did you think of this list?
Well, I was a little confused about what the list was. Because it was like it was kind of confined to the streaming era-ish, right?
Yeah.
Did I see that right?
Yeah, I don't.
Because like there's no Frank Sinatra on this list.
Yeah. I think it's modern, what they consider modern, like.
So I mean, Miseducational Lauryn Hill won. I would pretty much agree with that. Where's Ready to Die by Biggie? Did they have that on here? Let me double check.
Probably somewhere.
Okay, they have it 32.
Also, I think he might be above Drake. Drake's first one is at like 30s or something.
Take Care is
Notorious
47. Can I be honest? That's kind of a win for Drake getting one in the top 50 all time.
I know. Shout out Bob Marley right above him with Exodus.
You would have a different album over Take Care for Drake.
Yeah. I mean, I think Scorpion is my favorite one, but All Eyes on Me at 62.
A little disrespectful.
No, some people would have had that higher.
Yeah, exactly. Tupac outside the top 50.
SOS by SZA.
Tupac behind Arctic Monkeys is kind of crazy.
50 Cents Get Rich or Die Trying. That's pretty.
Also,
Doggy
like this
Style by Snoop Dogg.
This Kate Bush album, Hounds of Love, which has Hounds of
Back
Love.
in Black, AC/DC should be higher. Yeah, that's funny.
Which has that song that was really big on Stranger Things. Like, was this a great, like, obviously that song got big eventually, but like, was this the big album in the moment? Like, I don't know. I never heard of that until that song, to be honest. So 50 to me seems a little.
I am surprised Back in Black is so low too at 90.
You like that one?
Well,
you listen to AC/DC?
It's definitely like, I feel like there's so many that are a classic on there. Back in Black, like ones I've heard a million times.
Well, that's because we're in the Midwest and Back in Black, they play that at Iowa games. Is that the song they play when they run out? Is that like the hype song?
Yeah, that's like every high school football team in Iowa's hype song. I'll tell you, I've been to a gajillion football high school games in Iowa, and that was every single one. Y'all not unique. It's like,
well, they're all copying Iowa football, especially we're on
Iowa.
We're on the Hawkeye side. We're from the Hawkeye side of the state, not the Cyclone side of the state.
I'm surprised Astro World got on this list. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the one that I'd stand on, like, kind of scratching my head.
Is Astro World even the best Travis Scott album?
Exactly. Like,
do you like Rodeo better?
Could have been some other ones.
But you didn't like Utopia either, right?
No, I like Travis Scott's. There's some individual songs I like from him, but not as a whole.
You like Rodeo?
I could understand why people like Take Care of the most. I don't know if I've listened through that one.
That one's good. Apple Pie. I've been listening to that
Like-
song a lot.
Yeah.
Put it in the queue.
Is there any movie stuff going on or?
I don't know. The Fall Guy tanked. Outside of that, I don't know what's up.
Oh, really?
Also,
That's
no
not funny.
J. Cole in the top 100. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of wild. Do you think Furiosa is going to do good? I know I'm supposed to watch it at some point.
The thing is, I feel like the fact that all of these movies or a lot of these movies hit streaming, it's kind of, I mean, this is not an original take, but like it does affect you going to the movies. So like even this Furiosa movie, like it's definitely a good movie to go see in theaters, but it's probably just going to be on HBO Max. It's probably just going to be on Max at some point in like 6 months.
Yeah.
And now
No, I same with Dune too. Like it's crazy how quickly it went on there.
it's on there right now. And to be honest, like Dune
Yeah.
2 was the moment I realized that I'm kind of conditioned to wait for the movies to be on streaming. Because I remember I used to be a little antsy about it. It was like, well, I guess I'll just go see it now because I can't wait. But with Dune, I was like, oh, it'll be on Max at some point. If I miss it, I miss it. And now it's like, oh, it's on Max already? I don't even need to watch it yet. Now I'm just going to put it off because it's going to be on Max forever. And it's like probably.
And
3
Fall Guy seems
hours
like
long.
exactly the movie that you'd wait for a streaming service. Like I don't understand.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hope
know.
it
And
goes on
I
one.
don't think it's against. I mean, I'm looking at the Screen Rant article about it, and I don't think it's really against like Ryan Gosling. Like, I don't think people saw it and were like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go watch it because of Ryan Gosling. I mean, it got an 87% score by the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's just like you mentioned, like I think everyone's kind of like, I can watch this at home in a couple of months, like if I want to wait. And
Yeah.
nowadays we have to wait for TV shows and seasons of that anyway. So, for a movie that, you don't have nearly as much fandom as like Star Wars or Marvel, and which have been bad in their own right, might as well just wait until it shows up on some streaming service. And now we have so much content that's out there that you're like, do I want to get up, get out of my house? And, if it's a movie on my own, which is kind of lonely, or you go with someone else, you're paying like what, $30, $40 to go watch one movie when you could just sit at home and watch a streaming
you're
service
paying
that you're
$40
already paid for.
to go see a movie?
If you're getting like popcorn and stuff.
Are you so you're saying you're paying for the whole date?
Well, yeah, if you're talking about the tickets, which out here, I mean, it gets to $30. Like it's not cheap. And
I
then,
mean,
if
you're
getting-
factoring in paying for both of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking because it's very unlikely that you're gonna go watch a movie all by yourself. But let's say you do go watch a movie all by yourself. It's still close to like $25 if you're, including something, or if you're just doing the ticket. It's still like what, $15, $16, which is a month of whatever streaming service you want,
guys are getting
and
raked
whatever
on
show
movie
that you
tickets
can
out
watch on
there.
it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Shout out the Bay. But
I don't know if you remember this here, but the Marcus Theater has $5 Tuesday nights.
$5 Tuesday nights. Yeah, just wait till they take that away. Just wait. But
Maybe
I
they
think
did
at
already.
least
I
for
don't know.
opening weekend, for opening weekend, it's still at least $10,
Yeah.
which is the good chunk of what it costs for
And that's
any
true. That
streaming
popcorn
service.
is probably
And so-
$10 as well.
Exactly. So you could just sit at home, watch and binge whatever you want, and then watch it as many times as you want with subtitles, which I think is a growing number of people watching stuff with subtitles, including me. And,
I watch
if
everything
you
with
miss something, you
subtitles.
rewind it. You pull. Exactly.
Are you
And now you
subtitle
got to go
gang?
to the theater and you don't. I'm very much subtitle gang. Everything. And so now you go to theaters, no subtitles. You can't rewind. You can't stop to go to the bathroom. You can't, you're traveling. You're going outside your home. Like, I think it's just like it's a lazy answer, but I do agree. Like with the pandemic, with people staying in their home, and with the higher cost of these streaming services, that you're like, and they're just, like, why would I go pay when I'm already paying this much for all these streaming services? And then they're just adding all these big blockbuster movies to those streaming services anyway. Like HBO is killing it right now on the movies. Like we just talked about, Dune 2 came out how many months ago? That came out this year. Like if I'm a movie executive, that is unacceptable. unacceptable. There's no, like, we're killing ourselves. Like, we're literally we're like just chucking our stuff to the wind, because Dune 2 was arguably like one of the biggest like actual like cultural moments, or Barbie too. Like Barbie, like it did come to HBO a little bit later. I'll give them that. It was later the next year, but for it to come so soon to HBO within a couple months, it was less than a year that it came to HBO. And then Dune 2 come like within weeks of it being out. Like it was like, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Like that's unacceptable. Those are some of your biggest movies, and you're like, nah, we'll put it on the streaming services and train people to not come to the theaters. And I think it's what they low-key want, because they want to end up having less of the earnings going to being paid to these actors, and they don't have to pay them because of the streaming rights. And the contracts are set up with how much money they make from the movies, which is why you see situations like Scarlett Johansson suing people, stuff like that, because all these streaming services don't have to give out their numbers. They don't have to tell how much they pay, and their algorithm can promote whatever they want. And which is something interesting too, which those Netflix and others articles, like whoever's trending, like they can pick whoever they want and they can get the views. If you show it to enough people, they're going to be like, oh, what the heck? Let's watch this. And so they just get more and more control of the content you see, which, it might be, in one hand, can be a good thing because it's catered for you. But on the other hand, who knows? I mean, I don't know what intentions they have, which, now we're talking about Big Brother stuff and we're going off the rails. But all that to say, the companies are training us to not go to the theaters. And guess what? I'm not going to go to the theaters. I am part of the sheep. I'm not saying wake up, sheeple. I'm saying I am part of the sheep. I'm just seeing where we're headed. And yeah, I don't want to go to the theater when I can stay right here at home, eat my dinner, watch a near same quality or better movie, and just chill, be able to pause, go to the bathroom, watch subtitles, check my phone, call my mom. Like there's just so many reasons that it's better to watch a movie at home than to go to a theater and watch it.
And with the subtitle thing as well too, do you think that's because of like TikTok? Because
I think a little bit. I think
we're watching
also
everything
like,
with captions.
Yeah, I think also people like, you don't have to speak as clearly. Like if you look at old-timey movies, they're speaking like super, super clearly, like, hey, let's go. But I think nowadays, it's becoming more realistic. It's a little bit quieter. It's other languages sometimes, and it's just, and then also it's just, if you're watching dubbed, also when you're watching dubbed stuff, I think people also got, some more anime watchers. So yeah, I think it just varies. I don't, it just makes it more accessible. And so I don't know, Rem, what is your personal experience? Like, do you feel yourself like more and more not like having that thrill of going to the theater and just like, why don't I just watch this on my phone right now?
Well, see, the thing is, I do still really like going, but it's not like a super big priority. So you're right. I am just, because it's not a big priority, I'm just becoming conditioned to, there are certain movies that I would go see in the theater. Like, I don't know, Marvel movies, I guess I'm probably still conditioned to go see if I want to go see it. There just would be certain big movies that I would go see, but why wouldn't a streamer at this point just like, why wouldn't HBO charge for a movie on the streamer?
Disney did that. Disney has done that when they do early access. They have it and then you pay extra. So Disney already does that. I don't know if HBO does it, but I know like Amazon Prime, there's stuff there that you have to still pay for. And I guess this point is mainly not really for movies that we're fans of, because like Marvel we're a fan of. Like that's something you got to see. That's an event.
Well, we were.
Or we were. And then Star Wars, you have the memories, you have the feelings connected to it, but just like a normal everyday like movie that they're trying with Fall Guy. And this is exactly why sequels happen all the time and reboots, because they try new ideas and then people aren't really connected to them. And so then you have, 28 million in their first opening weekend when you spent almost up to 150 million on the movie itself.
Well, and I don't know if I'm just, I don't know if this is a real point or not, but like I do think that that movie was also PG-13 and that hurt it because it
Yeah.
felt like a
Oh, so you think it should be a kid movie or super serious?
well, I thought when I because I follow Gosling. Gosling's one of my favorite actors, so I like him. Kind of trying to like I kind of clue in on the projects that he has upcoming. So I had heard
Yeah.
about this one a little while before, so I'd done a little Fall Guy research, try to figure out what it was. So when I just heard the pitch of it's a stunt guy, and then you look at the cast and it's Ryan Gosling, it's Emily Blunt. I'm not saying like go crazy, obviously. Like I'm not I'm not like trying to be a dirty kid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, a PG-13 movie is a certain movie. And I think again with that pitch, I think it's like, okay, if you're seeing the trailer and then you see it PG-13, you just know it's going to be holding back in certain aspects where if they're going to be doing the stunt guy thing, maybe you'd want to go all out a little bit more. So I do think that again, Marvel is in the Fall Guy itself is not like a big property. So if it's not a big property, I think, it's going to fall in that kids-ish movie territory. And just because of that, I think it's not going to be as big a priority. Where I think if it's rated, if it's, it's a more mature, maybe it's a little more serious, people feel like, maybe the need to go see it a little more.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that sucks for this movie is that, like, it did. I mean, I think it had creative marketing, with them fighting on the red carpet and stuff. And from what we see from the scores, like, it scored decently well. But like, they needed this movie to like make 350 to 400 million to be a success. And they're nowhere near that. And now we can look at Gosling. He's had some, rough movies. The Nice Guys, First Man, Blade Runner 2049.
The Nice Guys is great. Don't
yeah,
discount
so
The
it's
Nice
gotten
Guys.
critical.
Have you seen that?
No, I'm not saying they're bad movies, any of them,
Watch
but
The
they
Nice
haven't
Guys.
made that much money. So, at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is make money. So, obviously, not anything against Gosling as an actor, just him as a draw to the movie. It's not huge as much. And
are you? Is
I don't,
this? Is this your take? Ryan Gosling not a box office draw?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Screen Rant article is talking
okay.
about. Like, it's not it's what we're seeing. But I mean, as of yesterday, it has made 30 million worldwide, and they kind of needed 400. So,
well,
yeah, they're like barely gonna meet the budget. Like, it's not even a success.
Maybe they'll get there in DVD sales.
Who knows? Who knows? But I think that's about. I don't have anything else. I didn't know if you had anything else, but
I think we did
I think
it.
we've yapped.
They're interviewing Anthony Edwards.
I think we yapped a lot. Shout out Luka Doncic, killing it.
We've gone pre to post game.
Oh, they're still going. Oh, whoa. Chuck, calm down, Chuck. Excuse me. That should be about it. Shout out TJ for coming on the pod. Make sure you check down below for BETSTAMP, for Pura Vida, rest bracelets in the business. Rem, pop them, show them. And DRF Sportsbook for our Iowa listeners. If you want to support the pod, that's the best way. Go through those links and use them. Help us out. And yeah, shout out Luka. It's going to be interesting seeing him and Tatum go up in the finals.